When you picture a summer vacation in Spain, you imagine pristine beaches and endless sunshine, but that idyllic image increasingly goes up in smoke. By July of 2026, Spain found itself operating under a national state of emergency. Extreme heat waves ignited fast-spreading wildfires that scorched over 150,000 hectares of land in a matter of weeks. The flames moved fast enough to force the mandatory evacuation of 60,000 people from the path of the fires. Those evacuations swept up local residents alongside tens of thousands of international tourists. The immediate physical threat of these disasters is destabilizing the foundation of Spain's massive summer travel industry. Spain relies heavily on the annual influx of summer travelers to sustain its economy, particularly in popular coastal destinations like Valencia. Extreme heat waves are shattering normal holiday conditions. With temperatures routinely pushing past 40 degrees Celsius, major cities are turning into literal hot zones. Inland cultural centers are particularly exposed. The historic city of Toledo now sits surrounded by bone-dry, highly combustible terrain. The threat map stretches across the country, enveloping heavily trafficked heritage sites like the medieval walls of Avila. As the fires close in, campsites, rural holiday homes, and luxury resorts face mandatory, chaotic evacuations. The immediate reaction from travelers is a mass exodus. Airports fill with early departures, and future bookings are canceled as tourists actively flee the smoke. Local businesses are losing their peak season revenue overnight, causing a localized economic breakdown precisely when they should be making their highest profits. These catastrophic fire seasons are no longer freak, isolated incidents. The Iberian Peninsula has settled into a new physical reality, defined by a clear pattern of longer, hotter, and intensely dry summers. Prolonged severe droughts are starving the landscape of its usual moisture, creating a highly combustible environment ready to ignite at any moment. Climate scientists attribute this systemic shift to broader climate change, ensuring that intensive fire seasons will reliably return every single year. The climate will not fix itself in the near future. To survive, the tourism industry is being forced to physically and structurally adapt. Tourists are driving that adaptation directly. They are abandoning the traditional summer vacation through a massive spatial and temporal migration. This map visualizes the geographic shift. Travelers are actively avoiding the traditional hot zones in the southern and central regions of the country during July and August. Instead, they are migrating northward to escape the heat advisories and the pervasive smoke. These emerging northern safe zones offer heavily forested valleys and cooler mountainous environments. Along the coast, visitors are trading the burning heat of the Mediterranean for the milder, temperate breezes of the Atlantic shoreline. This chart shows the temporal shift. For tourists who still want to visit the south, August bookings see a massive drop, offset by sharp spikes in the cooler shoulder seasons of spring and autumn to bypass the peak fire window. Climate change is physically redrawing both the map and the calendar of the European holiday. For anyone still planning a trip to the region, preparation is now your primary defense. You must stay informed. That means actively monitoring alerts from the Spanish Civil Protection Agency and local embassies. Financially, comprehensive travel insurance is a strict necessity. A policy must explicitly cover natural disasters and emergency evacuations. On the ground, tourists have a personal responsibility to stay out of forested areas during extreme heat advisories and strictly adhere to local fire bans. Experiencing the Spanish summer today requires abandoning old travel habits and respecting the volatility of a rapidly warming world.